You're at a party. Everyone's laughing, drinks in hand, having a great time. And you're exhausted. Not tired, not bored, exhausted. Like someone pulled the plug on you mid-conversation. Someone asks you, "So what do?" for the fourth time tonight, and something inside you just dies a little. You don't hate these people. You actually care about people deeply. So why does this feel so draining? The answer isn't about being introverted. It's not about being antisocial. It's something much more specific. And once you understand it, you'll never feel guilty about it again. Here's something most people never talk about. There's a specific type of person who can sit with a close friend for 6 hours and feel completely energized, but spend 20 minutes at a networking event and need 3 days to recover. And the frustrating part? They can't always explain why. Society has a ready-made label for this, introvert. But that's not the full picture, because plenty of introverts don't mind small talk, and plenty of extroverts find it hollow and exhausting. What we're actually talking about is something psychologists call need for cognition, a person's deep, almost biological drive for meaningful mental engagement. People high in need for cognition don't just prefer deep conversations. Their brain literally processes surface-level interaction differently. Small talk doesn't just feel boring to them, it feels like friction. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why that happens, what's going on psychologically, and why, if this resonates with you, it's actually a sign of something worth understanding about yourself. So let's get into the actual psychology of what's happening. The brain's energy economy. Your brain is constantly making decisions about where to allocate energy. And here's what's fascinating. Not all conversation is processed the same way. Small talk activates what psychologists call the default mode network, the part of your brain responsible for autopilot thinking. It's the same network that runs when you're daydreaming or doing something repetitive. For most people, that's fine. The brain coasts. Low effort, low reward. But for people exhausted by small talk, their brain doesn't coast. It stays alert, waiting for something meaningful to engage with. And when that signal never comes, the brain doesn't relax. It gets frustrated, like an engine revving in neutral. That frustration is what you feel as exhaustion. The authenticity gap. There's a second layer to this, and it might be the most important one. Researchers at the University of Arizona ran a study where they tracked the conversations of hundreds of people throughout their day. What they found was striking. People who had more substantive conversations, ones involving real ideas, feelings, or experiences, reported significantly higher levels of well-being and happiness. People who spent more time in small talk? The opposite. For people already wired toward depth, small talk doesn't just feel empty, it feels like a violation of authenticity. Like being asked to perform a version of yourself that doesn't actually exist. You're not being fake exactly, but you're not being real either. And that in-between space, it's cognitively and emotionally expensive. The meaning filter. Here's a concept I want you to hold on to. I call it the meaning filter. Some people move through the world constantly filtering for significance. Every conversation, every interaction, their brain is unconsciously asking, does this matter? Is this real? Is this going somewhere? Small talk almost never passes that filter. And the cruel irony is, the more intelligent and emotionally aware you are, the more active that filter tends to be. You're not being elitist. Your brain is just doing what it's built to do. This is also why people exhausted by small talk often feel deeply misunderstood. Because from the outside, they can look withdrawn, cold, or disinterested, when really, they're just waiting for a conversation worth showing up for. If you've made it this far in this video, there's a good chance you've spent a significant portion of your life feeling like something was wrong with you. Like you were too serious, too intense, too much, or somehow not enough. You watched other people float effortlessly through cocktail parties and office chit-chat, and you wondered why you couldn't just relax into it. But here's the reframe. You were never broken. You were never antisocial. You were never cold. You just have a brain that refuses to waste itself. And that's not a flaw. That's a feature. The people throughout history who changed things, who built things, wrote things, discovered things, were almost never the ones who were great at small talk. They were the ones sitting in the corner, waiting for a conversation that actually meant something. Nikola Tesla was known to avoid social gatherings entirely. Susan Cain, who wrote Quiet, one of the most important books on introversion, describes spending her childhood feeling fundamentally out of step with the world around her. Even Einstein famously said that the monotony of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. These weren't broken people. They were people whose depth was inconvenient for shallow environments. And here's the thing about small talk that nobody tells you. It's not that it's worthless. Small talk serves a real social function. It builds rapport, signals safety, opens doors. The problem isn't small talk itself. The problem is being forced to live entirely inside it, to never get past it, to spend your whole life in the shallow end with people who never seem to want to go deeper. That's the exhaustion, not the 2-minute weather conversation, but the fear that the weather conversation is all there's ever going to be. So what do you do with this? First, stop pathologizing yourself. You don't need to be fixed. You need environments and relationships that match your wiring. Second, give yourself permission to be selective. Not every social situation deserves your full energy. Protect it. Third, and this is the one most people skip, get better at creating depth. Because sometimes the person across from you is just as hungry for a real conversation. They're just waiting for someone to start one. That someone can be you.